Hi everyone, and welcome to Talk 54. Now this week we're talking about maybe sitting about a bit too much. I know many of us have really tried hard to keep up our exercise and doing our walks and all that kind of thing. And with the lifting of restrictions, we're all delighted. We can see our friends again. We can go to coffee shops and we can go to restaurants and bars and things. Absolutely wonderful. I know it's still restricted to an extent, but we can do it. But the danger here is, are we ditching our walks for that coffee with friends, or even a coffee and a cake, or even ditching our walk for going to the pub, anything like that? So what we have to be careful is that we're not sacrificing one thing for the other. We can do both. And we've got to look at how it works within our bodies, how our metabolism works, how our muscles work. And the biggest thing that we can do is keep our muscles going. We need to build muscle. We need to keep them active. It's the old expression, if you don't use them, you'll lose them. So if you don't use your muscles, you will start to lose them. So if we look at our metabolic rate, now that is the rate at which the body burns calories. If you are someone who eats 2,000 calories a day and you burn 2,000 calories a day, then you will stay roughly the same weight. However, if you start to make that uneven, so you're eating 2,500, but you're only burning 2,000, you will start to put some weight on. So what can we do to increase our metabolic rate? Well, we need to look at, first of all, our BMR, our basal metabolic rate. That is the rate at which we burn calories just by living, by existing. You can be sitting there in a chair, just breathing, or even sleeping, and you are still burning calories. Very reassuring, but it's not enough. However, a reassuring fact is that about 60% of the calories that we burn are actually just from existing, from living. We might think that our body is resting, but in effect, we're still seeing, we're still hearing, the blood's still pumping. We are alive, and therefore we're burning calories. Then you've got burning your calories through activity. Now, this can be any activity, anything from doing a high aerobic class to doing your ironing, or just lifting the kettle to fill it with water. All of that is movement, so that's burning through activity. Then you've got, wait for this, dietary thermogenesis, or meal-induced heat production. So essentially, when you're having something to eat, you are burning calories by eating, digesting, processing, and then using that food. So again, that's us using calories. So we want to actually influence all this burning of calories by building muscle, and that will enable us to burn fat much more effectively, to burn calories much more effectively, and it will actually increase the rate at which we burn calories, and that in turn will lead, hopefully, to not just a lovely toned body, but also maybe to a bit of weight loss. For every pound of muscle that the body puts on, it will actually use 50 extra calories a day. So it's worth thinking about. As we get older, however, what tends to happen is that we become more inactive. And by doing that, we start to lose muscle mass. You'll notice if you know any very elderly people, they've hardly got any muscle mass. It's almost like you can't see muscles. It's like what's holding them together. You don't want to get to that stage. We need to keep our muscles going. So we need to build them up a little bit. And what that will do is up the metabolism for us. We do not want a slowed metabolism, which will happen as we start to lose our muscle tone and also the muscle mass. So the bigger and stronger the muscles are, the greater their capacity to burn fat. So things that you can do, essentially keep moving, keep active, even if it's things like just tapping your fingers or even swinging your legs, or at night if you're sitting watching telly, get up, stretch, sit down again. Go through to the kitchen, do something. Just getting up and sitting down will use a lot more calories. When you park in the car park, can you park at the far end and then walk to the supermarket and back? We're all obsessed with this parking right at the door. You're likely to get your car bashed anyway, so why not park at the other end and get a bit of extra exercise? So the more you can move, the better. Obviously, we want to start doing a little bit more exercise if we can. So aerobic exercise and muscle building exercise, things like using your weights, that kind of thing, or doing your squats, press-ups if you do them, even the wall press-ups, any of those will actually help to build muscle mass. Now, we do them at classes. We haven't had classes for quite a while. Some of you have kept up with the exercise online, and hopefully we will be back to classes soon and we will start to do those things again. But in the meantime, get yourself ready for this. Start to build up those muscles again. Keep moving. Don't ditch your walk or your exercise for going for coffee and things with friends. You can combine, get them involved. It will make it much easier. If you've got a pal with you, you're much more likely to have a nice long walk and a chat. You don't realize how far you've gone, and you can still then stop for a coffee if you want to. You don't have to have the cake, but maybe you can share one. On that note, I will say see you all again soon. Take care. I miss you all, my friends, and hopefully it's not too long before we can be back together again. Bye for now.